Hi everybody, it's Wayne from Inspired to Change again. Quick reminder to hit subscribe at the bottom of the screen or up at the top. I'm not quite sure where they keep putting it. And you'll keep getting regular updates when we put new videos on. So we normally put an introduction to the videos that we do. However, this one's a little bit different today. What we're going to be looking at in this video is something called attachment styles and relationship styles, and it's how we do and don't get on with other people and how the dynamics of relationships can change. The reason we want to put a specific introduction to this one is more of a heads up and a bit of a health warning that one of the best ways of looking at how our attachment style and our relationship styles develop is by also examining our experiences of relationships in the past, and especially around childhood. So obviously for the majority of people that might be absolutely fine. They might be able to have a look at that and examine that and start putting the links together of how they do or don't get on with people now. However, for some people we do recognise that this may pull up and resurrect some memories, emotions, events that could bring up negative emotions, could be quite traumatic. So I think one of the things more than anything that have a think about before you watch this video about how you potentially prepare for that. And the other thing is just as a reminder, at the end of the video, we will always put up the numbers of each of the key workers in each of the areas. So after watching the video, if it is that you do feel that you'd like to speak to us and discuss it a bit further, by all means, give one of us a call and we'll talk through that with you. So thank you.
Welcome to Skills and Inspiration from Inspired to Change. Today we are going to find out more about how our past relationships can influence the way we think, feel and behave in our current relationships. The relationships we made as children and how we felt in those situations can affect how comfortable we feel being close to other people. These feelings stay with us and can be part of the reason we choose to have relationships with particular people as adults. Have you ever been in a relationship and thought, it's going the same way as the last one, or why do all my relationships end up like this? You may start a new relationship with the best intentions of this being the one, only to find that 6 months on, the same arguments or problems are happening that you've experienced before. Understanding attachment means recognising how you feel about yourself as a person. It also means thinking about the other person in your relationship, their childhood experience, and how they have developed their own feelings as an adult. You have both got to where you are today because of your experiences. So how do you bring two people with their own feelings and beliefs together and experience that contentment that you start the relationship looking for? This isn't easy, and starting to understand more about yourself and others can help you make decisions in relationships that are safe and successful. What do we actually need as children in order to thrive and become healthy, successful adults? When we look at attachment styles, we are questioning if these needs have been or are being met. All humans have basic needs. So whether it's food, sleep, water, money to provide those, good health and security, these all contribute to a positive upbringing. As well as these basic needs, we all need to feel that we are loved, that we belong, and that we are good enough. And this comes through friendship, family, respect, recognition, and positive self-esteem. Once all of these things are met, we then need to know and feel that we can be the person we really want to be, can we reach our true potential? And having someone to believe in us and push us along helps us succeed. Let's start with the types of childhood experiences we have. A child who is secure strongly believes and trusts that his or her needs will be met. Their caregiver's response to them is always quick, sensitive, and consistent. They feel supported. As a result of this, the child feels secure, they're happy to explore, they've got a happy demeanour, and they are confident in themselves. An avoidant child deep down believes that actually his or her needs probably won't be met. Their caregiver's response to them is often distant or disengaged and uninterested. This can lead to the child being emotionally distant themselves and not very explorative in life. An ambivalent child cannot rely on his or her needs being met. There is always a sense of uncertainty. Their caregiver can be inconsistent. Sometimes they are sensitive, but sometimes they are neglectful. This can often lead to the child feeling very anxious and insecure, and often angry that their needs are not being met regularly. A disorganised child is extremely confused. There is no plan whatsoever for their needs to be met. Their caregiver may be extremely erratic, doing different things from one minute to the next. The caregiver could also be frightened or very frightening towards the child. This can lead to the child being depressed or angry or actually completely non-responsive. Do you remember yourself in any of these situations as a child? What would your attachment style have been? If you have your own children, which one of these attachment styles can you identify in them? As an adult, you begin to have choice over who you have a relationship with. Your attachment styles start to develop, and they're now made up of how you see and feel about yourself, and also how you see and feel about the other person. There are 4 different attachment styles that we all fit into at some point in our adult lives. A secure child will often develop into a secure adult. They feel secure about themselves and secure about the other relationships they are in. A secure adult feels resilient. There is honesty, openness, and equality in relationships, so both partners can thrive and grow together at the same pace. A secure adult feels confident that they are loved and appreciated. They are good problem solvers who are able to forgive and also apologise. They give support and feel supported by their partner. Dismissive and avoidant attachment styles in adults can often come from that avoidant attachment style as a child. This was the child that had that underlying feeling that their needs probably wouldn't be met. As an adult, this develops so that they are often emotionally distant from their partner and have very few close relationships. A dismissive or avoidant adult is often able to turn off their feelings and not react even during conflict. With that feeling in the back of their minds that other people might not meet their needs, if at any point their partner threatens to leave them, they have the ability to shut down their emotions and pretend that they don't care. They may come across as very self-sufficient and independent, and can often avoid getting close to people in case it shows vulnerability. That ambivalent child that knew that their needs were not being met, that was often anxious and insecure, can often develop into an anxious and preoccupied adult. They often worry that they will be abandoned by their partner. They can be attracted to people that they feel that they can save, or in some cases, a partner that could save them. It's a needy type of relationship. Because of the lack of nurture as a child, they can struggle from insecurities. They might have low self-esteem because they grew up without healthy boundaries. An anxious and preoccupied adult can be very demanding. They might be obsessive and clingy and prone to overthinking situations. They might have mood swings and often mistake those rocky relationships as passion. For a child who developed that disorganized attachment, where they were really confused because there was no plan to have their needs met, and they grew up feeling depressed and angry, they will be the ones who may turn into a fearful and avoidant adult. They may never be comfortable either feeling that they're too close or too distant from their partner. They will tend to find themselves in very rocky or dramatic relationships, so that there are very big highs and severely deep lows. A fearful and avoidant adult often feels overwhelmed by their own emotions. They fear abandonment, but struggle with being confident in their partner relying on them. The person that they want to be with for safety is also the same person that they are frightened of being close to, because they're not used to organisation or plans, or their needs being met by others. Thinking about the attachment styles you identified for yourself as a child, which of these attachment styles could you see yourself as an adult? Understanding why we behave as we do when we respond to a situation in a relationship can help us start the process of challenging those behaviours and considering whether they are safe actions to take in a relationship. How can you develop positive and safe new ways of dealing with the way you feel about relationships? How can you make sure these new behaviours end violence and aggression and make your relationship more positive? Thinking about the skills we talk about in the programme, which ones could you use? That regular conversation or situation that leads to the same argument time and time again. How would using the taking time out skill help? What would happen if you used regular positive self-talk? Are you using active listening? Are you listening or just hearing at the moment? That I Speak tool, what are the facts? And are you taking enough time for yourself just to be in the present moment? How would practicing mindfulness affect your responses? There isn't a magic wand to fix relationships, but you do have the choice to make it a safe and secure experience. Those experiences of close relationships as a child can make a template for how we behave, think and feel as an adult. These templates are also influenced by how positively we feel about ourselves and other people. The attachment patterns affect how close we feel to our partners, how we choose our partners, and how we manage our problems in the relationships. By using the skills we have talked through and taking responsibility for our actions, we have the choice to respond to those attachment styles and those feelings and make decisions about how we would like our relationships to look and feel in the future. We cannot change what has happened in the past, but by recognizing why we respond how we do, we can choose to make changes that will lead to a better life.